All right, guys. Well, lately I've been focusing on different aspects of filament management. Now this could be, the drying process, or storing it, storing filament, how it's used through the printer and or through an AMS, right? And of course the thermals involved through the whole process. Now in this video, I'm going to take a look at an AMS upgrade offered by Sunlu. This is an upgrade kit, and I'll have to say, to start off, Sunlu is not sponsoring this video. They did not supply the kit. I purchased this myself. All of my testing is going to be pretty straightforward, and that's including the installation, the initial use of it, and the ease of use, right? And then later on, I can take a look at some of the longer term tests that I plan on this, and addressing any issues that come up. But for now, I'm just going to install it, and we'll take a good close look at it. So this Sunlu kit, it looks pretty good, and this is meant to retrofit or replace the AMS, the first generation of the AMS, on these Bambu Lab printers, right? So the purpose is to convert the AMS into a dryer, right? Into a filament dryer. And there's the components there, there's the fans, and it's to convert it into a dryer so that for longer term storage, and even possibly to print while you are drying, right? Now I'm going to be installing this on this PS1 and the AMS combo that I've been using almost exclusively for printing with ASA filament. And as you can see, I have a hygrometer in here, and right now it is showing 34. It's been floating between 34 and 35%. Now 30% is usually my, I guess you can say it's my max. 30%. When it reaches that, then I open it up and take the filament out and put them in a dryer, right? And I usually try to get it down to 20% or so, right? But having to take them all out, I have put each spool in a dryer, or 2 per dryer, whichever dryer you're going to use, if you have a double. But it's still kind of a pain. You got to take them out, go for 6 to 12 hours, and then put it all back together. In the meantime, the printer's kind of idle. But I think now is the perfect time to try this Sunlu out. I'm needing to dry this filament anyway, so well, let's get started. Alright, as you can see, I've already taken all the filament out of the AMS, and everything else I left in there, all the desiccant and all that old stuff, it doesn't matter. Took that out. You're supposed to turn it up on its front side to take these hinges off, the little end pieces, and to do that, it gives you the long Allen wrench. You got to reach way in here, and there's 2 on each side, 2 here and 2 there. Yeah, see, it's gonna come right off. Now I'll release the latch, and there we go. Pretty simple. Alright, so here are the Sunlu hinges in hardware. We're supposed to set that down and then install 2 hinges and 4 screws. And it looks like it gave an extra set because there's 4 here. So we'll set these 4 screws over and these 2 over. And let's see how this fits in. Okay, so when you're putting these hinges on, it goes on a certain way. Of course, you can see the hole here where it inserts into the bracket here. These 2 poles need to be pointing down, and that is so that it will connect to the AMS body, and you're going to be putting screws in there. So, and you can see there's a right and a left, so make sure you put the correct one. Here's some hardware. Let's grab the filament body. We're looking at the back. Okay, slid right in. You just slide the poles down into the existing holes and make sure it's operating correctly. And we need to turn it on its front. Let's get these back in. Now I have to say, when I was putting in these screws, this side felt like it was harder to get started into the holes on the hinge. It felt kind of tight, you know, once tightening it up. This side went in very easily, but I would almost guarantee, you know, just don't put it too tight. You're screwing into plastic. So if you're using a power tool, that's probably why they came out with, you know, an extra set. If some guys are using a power tool to tighten down these screws, it's probably cracking it, right? So just be careful on that. Scratch it up to that. Some scratches, I guess you'd want to put a towel or something to work on if you don't want this plastic to get scratched up. But I think that is it. Should be able to, yeah, just opens and closes with ease. Doesn't look like there's any lock to lock this thing down. But I guess it's a little heavier than the original lid. So just gravity alone will probably keep it down. And you can see there's a vent. It is manual, but when you're drying with it, make sure it's open up. It gives somewhere for the moist, warm air to get out, right? And once it's finished, you can close it up. And I guess that's it. Let's put it all together. So when you're plugging all this in, be sure you have an extra power cord here. So make sure you have a socket to plug into. And with this one, you can see I have a UPS right next to it, or I can go up here to my power strip and plug them in either way. I'll probably just go right here, and that'll be it. All right, it looks pretty straightforward now. So I'm going to monitor this while everything's drying. Of course, it's better to keep everything closed, but like with other dryers, you do have to have some kind of vent. Like on this old dryer here, I used to just pop open the top, but then I drilled some holes in the back and drilled, you know, I can cap them off or open them up or whatever. That one I've had for quite a long time. This one, so I'm going to monitor it. The temperature is up. Over here is the setting, and this is the actual temperature. That heated up pretty fast, but it must be so close to the heater. That's what I'm wondering. I mean, is it really the ambient temperature? I don't know. And the way to look at it here, you can see I have this hygrometer here, and right now it's showing 43%, 16 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to compare this reading to what we have here. It's showing 16%. I don't know how accurate that is, because I really want to see what's showing down here. And just a side note, you see how everything is scratched up down here at the bottom on the face of this plexiglass or plastic, whatever. And that's because in the instructions, when they tell you to place it upright on its face like that, be sure to put something underneath it. This just got scratched up on my workbench, so place it on top of a towel or just something so that it won't scratch up like that. That kind of pissed me off. But and other than that, and the only other thing I like or I don't like for the cons, I don't like this frosted plastic, so I can't see you can't see the spools. Sure, when you look at it, you can look at the color of the spools by looking at that, or you can go over here and see what color it is. But as you can see, if I'm not using Bambu Lab, if I'm using non-Bambu Lab filament, well, I can't see the levels, right? I don't know what's left on the spools, and I like to be able just to take a glance, just like that. Just take a glance so I can see how much filament's left on the spools. But with this, you can't. You can barely see it through here, but you really gotta lift it up. But so far, that's the only cons I can see. Just one to look out for, and I just don't like the frosted glass. But yeah, so I'm going to let that dry for a few hours. This will be the start of my first, longer term test. But for the immediate use, I mean, you can see the advantages of having one. It's looks like it's a well-made unit. It got hot very fast. It looks like it's performing as should, but we'll see about that. But you can see the advantages right away. It's instead of having an external dryer, now it's built in, and now no need for swapping filament spools in and out from your dryer back to the AMS, back to the dryer, so and forth. So it's longer storage time while the filament is in the AMS, so you can still dry. Now, potentially, you can print while it's drying. And I guess that raises a big question. I guess, can you print while it's drying? How soft does that filament get when it's heated up and you start putting it through? Is it gonna clog as it goes through the feed motors on the AMS, and will it potentially clog up in your printer? Because as it's, especially with some filaments, that takes higher than 60 degrees. If it's, if you're pumping up to 80 to 100, with some of the engineering filaments, how soft is that filament? Is it gonna, go through the feed gears and just crump up, and just start clogging everything? And that can be a pain in the butt, with the old AMS. When it starts to clog like that, you got to take it apart, and it's kind of a pain to get to those PTFE tube lines, right? And be able to get in there and unclog everything. But And I know some guys out there are like, "Yeah, no problem," they act like I'm wasting their time when I talk about it. It's like, well, it's definitely an issue, and obviously an issue if you take a look at the Bambu Lab, the AMS2, on this H2D here. Sure, it has, a built-in heater and everything else on the AMS2. It has the vents, has everything you need, but Bambu Lab has restricted the use of printing while the element is on, right? So when you're drying the filament, you can't use that printer. At least going through the AMS, you might be able to use the printer on an external spool, but not through the AMS. So there's obviously something going on, and that's what I'm going to be testing. And there has been some other YouTube creators out there that have actually filmed and shown some examples of the filament, the way you can see the indent where it just kind of ground away on the feed gear, and I guess it was too soft. It went through there and it was just slipping, and so there's definitely a possible issue there. So that being said, I'm going to have some separate videos. Starting with this one, for some long-term tests. I'll be addressing that possible issue. Is it too soft? Does it get too hot? When you're trying to print and dry at the same time. How big is the risk? What parameters will this actually happen? And are there any options, going forward? Or do you just use it as is, right? But for now, that's it for this video. This Sunlu unit, this little kit was super easy to install. You just plug it right in. It seems to be performing well right now. It got very hot. It got hot very fast. And I'll just monitor the levels of the hygrometer level, on the unit and the separate one that I have in the AMS. So I'll be doing the long-term test on this, but it seems to be working as intended. So and it seems to be put together pretty well. I mean, I'd say it's well worth it if you're in the same position I was in, of having to swap filaments in and out all the time. So stay tuned for some upcoming videos when I've had time to test this out. So I'll be doing the testing on this, show you the results. In the meantime, I'm probably going to look into more AMS options, upgrade options, and see what's out there, right? So I guess that's being said too. That's it for this video. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch for my next videos.